The sun shone brightly that day, and the sky was perfectly clear. But Gao Tu's face told a different story. An unmistakable gloom clouded his expression. The moment his eyes met Shen Wenlang's, color drained from his face. Instinctively, he backed away, cradling his child tightly in his arms. Shen Wenlang, however, had rehearsed this reunion thousands of times in his mind. Seeing the Omega who had left without a word didn't make him lose control. Calmly, he handed the little child to the nanny. Peanut, his little godchild, reached out his arms to the nanny, but glanced back at Shen Wenlang with worry. He had never seen his godfather like this, tense, stiff, teeth clenched, struggling to maintain composure. Someone stepped forward, blocking Shen Wenlang's fiery gaze. Ma Heng. Shen Wenlang's eyes narrowed. The alpha who had forced Gao Tu and Ma Heng to flee their homeland now boldly stood in front of him. As if Gao Tu were still his possession, Gao Tu's fear was evident.
Ma Heng's overreaction and hostility suggested a long history with Shen Wenlang.
Song Fei, standing nearby, couldn't fully understand the tension, but she could sense the dangerous undercurrent.
Dad,
Gao Lele whispered, noticing Gao Tu's strained expression. If you don't feel well, let's go home first. Gao Tu, always protective of his child, nodded and tried to soothe him, though his own fear didn't abate. Shen Wenlang stepped closer, noticing the child in Gao Tu's arms. His voice trembled slightly as he asked, "Is that my child?"
No.
Gao Tu replied instinctively, backing away further. Shen Wenlang's heart sank. Why was he lying? Why such fear? He wanted to reach out, to reassure him, to take away this terror, but he didn't know how. Gao Lele, sensing his father's anxiety, whispered softly to distract him.
When are we going home?
Very soon, Gao Tu answered, forcing calm. But Shen Wenlang, like an immovable mountain, blocked his path. Ma Heng tried to intervene, but the bodyguards restrained him. This scumbag, stay away from the little rabbit.
Shen Wenlang's roar filled the air, his pheromones radiating a quiet but undeniable dominance.
Ma Heng staggered under the invisible pressure, his defiance crumbling. Shen Wenlang's stare was icy wolfish, unrelenting. Stop! Gao Tu commanded, worried for Ma Heng. But hearing him say "we" thrilled Shen Wenlang.
Gao Tu was protecting his child, and it felt like they were united, just the two of them. Facing the world together, Gao Tu's fear was palpable. He didn't want Shen Wenlang alone with him, not yet.
Shen Wenlang softened, easing his approach, careful not to terrify him further. Inside the car, the air conditioning hummed softly. Gao Tu held his child tightly, seated in the back, while Shen Wenlang sat beside them, cautious but yearning to bridge the distance. Peanut, curious and brave, climbed onto Shen Wenlang's knees, his small hands reaching out, breaking the invisible tension. Gao Lele, sitting in Gao Tu's arms, sniffed the air and picked up on Ma Heng's unfamiliar pheromones. It was strange, confusing, but the child remained unafraid of Shen Wenlang, curious instead. The bond of blood was remarkable, and Shen Wenlang noticed it immediately. Gao Tu's fear was protective, desperate. He didn't want to lose the child he had fought so hard to keep safe. Shen Wenlang understood, and yet, he wished he could explain everything. The past, the misunderstandings, the truth of his feelings. Wenlang, Dad? Who are they? Can they play with me? Peanut's innocent voice filled the car. Gao Tu's chest tightened. Shen Wenlang's presence, so near yet restrained, confused him. He held his child closer, protective, but also, a part of him wanted to let Shen Wenlang near. Gao Lele whispered, trying to calm his father. Dad, when are we going home? Very soon, Gao Tu reassured him, still wary, still defensive. Shen Wenlang, observing carefully, tried to bridge the chasm between them. This is Zhao Huasheng, Hua Yang's child, Shen Wenlang said softly. Gao Tu's thoughts raced. The introduction was harmless, yet somehow, Gao Tu misinterpreted it, thinking Shen Wenlang had intentionally flaunted intimacy with someone else. Congratulations. Gao Tu finally muttered, a small, forced smile on his lips. Shen Wenlang realized then he misunderstood the situation completely. Gao Tu, cautious and hurt, saw threats where there were none. I've been looking for you for a long time, Shen Wenlang spoke gently. Gao Tu's eyes flickered toward him, then away. Their eyes met briefly, and in that fleeting moment, emotions surged, pain, longing, regret all held tightly in silence. Since we all have new lives, let the past be the past, Gao Tu said softly. My father was wrong to blackmail you. I've aborted the child. I won't ask for money. His words were laced with shame, his head bowed as if trying to hide from the world. Shen Wenlang felt a pang of helplessness. He wanted to tell Gao Tu he bore no blame, that he didn't hate him, that he could have loved him in any circumstance. But it was too late for explanations. Gao Tu continued, voice hoarse. I'm sorry for lying. I can compensate you in any way you want. But please, don't hurt my child. Every word pierced Shen Wenling's chest. Gao Tu's kindness, his unwavering backbone, the way he never fawned or sought favors, it all struck him with the force of memory and longing. Shen Wenlang remembered the past vividly, the small arguments, the quiet moments of care, the ordinary days made extraordinary by their bond. Gao Tu's humility and care contrasted sharply with others who had tried to please Shen Wenlang for convenience. Gao Tu's respect, his equality, his pride, these were rare, precious, irreplaceable. And now seeing him fearful, protective, ashamed, Shen Wenlang felt both devastated and helpless. Peanut, oblivious to the heavy emotions, climbed onto Shen Wenling's knees. His bright eyes, innocent and curious, broke the tension. Can I borrow your mask? He asked. Gao Lele hesitated, then handed it over. Shen Wenlang smiled at the simple, unguarded interaction, a rare sweetness in the bitter storm of adult emotions. Seeing Gao Lele, Shen Wenling's heart softened. The child's resemblance to him was unmistakable. DNA need not be proven here. He wanted to scoop Peanut up, to shower both children with affection, but held back, respecting Gao Tu's protective stance. Gao Lele grew increasingly curious and concerned. His father had been disappearing at night, and a new neighbor next door caught their attention at the amusement park. The neighbor was persistent, calling Gao Lele baby, and Gao Tu, baby, showing a shameless, affectionate demeanor that made Gao Tu uneasy. Gao Lele, perceptive and sensitive, noticed his father's discomfort. Every interaction with the neighbor left Gao Tu flushed and tense. Yet the child's concern was not just for appearances, it was for the safety and happiness of his father. One night, after a lot of watermelon and restless sleep, Gao Lele woke up, wandering to the living room. Dim light, curtains drawn, and familiar voices greeted him. He heard the neighbor teasing gently. One more kiss, please? Gao Tu, patient and careful, replied softly, trying not to wake Gao Lele. The neighbor persisted, playful and mischievous, nudging Gao Tu and coaxing him. Gao Tu laughed quietly, allowing the neighbor to stay, but gently reminded him to wait until Lele slept. Gao Lele returned to bed, the faint scent of iris and sage filling the air. The fragrance was calming, almost magical, bringing him a profound sense of safety and happiness. When Gao Tu later tucked him in, Gao Lele's big, bright eyes opened wide, filled with warmth and affection. Dad, he said, if you want to go next door, you can do it now. You don't have to wait until I fall asleep. His words carried a child's logic but a depth beyond his years. He sensed the love, the worry, the tension between the adults. Perhaps in some playful, innocent way, he thought of changing his surname in the future, embracing both lives, both families. If you were moved by Gao Tu and Shen Wenling's story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more heartfelt Abo Desire stories. Share your thoughts in the comments.